Hocus Pocus 2 is a 2022 American fantasy comedy film directed by Anne Fletcher, written by Jen D'Angelo and produced by Walt Disney Pictures. A sequel to the 1993 film Hocus Pocus, it stars Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, and Doug Jones reprising their roles, with Sam Richardson, Whitney Peak, Belisa Escobedo, Tony Hale, and Hannah Waddingham joining the cast in new roles. Filming took place from October 2021 to January 2022 in Rhode Island, replacing Salem, Massachusetts. It was released on Disney and on September 30, 2022. The film received mixed reviews, praising the cast performances, humor, and nostalgia, but criticized the plot. In 1653 Salem, a young Winifred Sanderson is banished from Salem by Reverend Trask after she defied the authority of the church by refusing to marry John Pritchett. Rather than let her sisters Mary and Sarah be taken away from her, Winifred escapes with them to a nearby forbidden forest. There, they make the acquaintance of Mother Witch, who gifts Winifred her magic book for her 16th birthday but explicitly warns the sisters against casting a spell known as the Magicae Maxima, which makes the user all-powerful. Mother Witch also teaches the sisters to kill other children to keep their youthfulness. In 2022, 29 years after the Sanderson sisters were resurrected by the Black Flame Candle, Salem teenagers Becca and Izzy prepare to celebrate both Halloween and Becca's 16th birthday but turn down a party invitation from their estranged friend Cassie Trask. Becca and Izzy visit a magic shop run by Gilbert, who gifts Becca a candle for their annual birthday ritual. The girls light the candle and discover that it is another black flame candle. As there is a full moon and the girls are both virgins, the candle resurrects the Sanderson sisters once again. The girls manage to outwit the sisters in a local Walgreens and then escape to the magic shop, where they discover that Gilbert tricked them into reviving the witches, having seen them on Halloween back in 1993 and been taught how to make the candle by book. The sisters catch up to the girls and see a campaign flyer belonging to Mayor Jeffrey Trask, Cassie's father, and Reverend Trask's descendant. Winifred decides they will cast the Magicae Maxima spell to eliminate him and take revenge on Salem. The sisters trap Izzy and Becca in the basement and leave to hunt down Trask, whose blood is needed to complete the spell. They force Gilbert to collect the other ingredients. The girls escape and head to the Trask house to warn the mayor, while the sisters find their way to the town's Halloween carnival and enchant the citizens to help them find the mayor. Meanwhile, Gilbert digs up Billy Butcherson, who has been awake but entombed since 1993. He needs Billy's head for the spell but tricks him into helping him collect the other ingredients first. The girls reunite with Cassie and manage to trap the sisters within a salt circle in Cassie's garage before Mayor Trask returns home. The three teenagers make amends with one another, but their reunion is interrupted when the sisters escape the circle and kidnap Cassie to use her blood instead. Becca and Izzy follow them to the Forbidden Forest, where Gilbert has assembled the ingredients, and soon discover that Becca is also a witch. The sisters partially cast the spell and increase their power, but Becca distracts them while Izzy rescues Cassie. Becca manages to convince Book that it does not have to answer to Winifred, and she and Book flee further into the forest. It shows them a warning about the Magicae Maxima spell, stating that whoever casts it must give up what they cherish most. The girls agree to warn Winifred of the price of the spell but are too late. She becomes all-powerful as Mary and Sarah fade to dust. Winifred grows despondent and begs the teenagers to use their newfound powers to save her sisters. While they cannot save them, Becca, Cassie and Izzy join together in a coven and cast a reuniting spell, so Winifred happily fades away to be reunited with her sisters. The girls are joined by Gilbert and Billy while Billy starts to fade away, realizing that all of Winifred's spells have been undone and relieved to finally be headed to his eternal rest. The girls decide to give Book a new home and continue practicing their magic as they walk off into the night in a similar manner as the Sanderson sisters. as they leave a crow, identical to the one that Mother Witch had shape-shifted into, flies overhead. Cast: Bette Midler as Winifred Winnie Sanderson, the oldest of the three Sanderson sisters. Winifred loves to sing. Her signature magical ability is electrokinesis, but she has extensive knowledge of dark magic thanks to her prized sentient spell book. As the leader of the trio, Winifred is often frustrated by her younger sister's incompetence. Taylor Paige Henderson as young Winifred Winnie Sanderson. Sarah Jessica Parker as Sarah Sanderson, the youngest of the three Sanderson sisters. Sarah's magical gift is a hypnotic siren call, which she uses through her song Come Little Children. Her immature, lusty, and often airhead nature exasperates Winifred. Juju Breener as young Sarah Sanderson. Kathy Najimy as Mary Sanderson, the middle sister. Mary has the magical ability to track children with an enhanced sense of smell. She looks up to her elder sister, Winifred, and constantly seeks her approval. Nina Kitchen as young Mary Sanderson. Sam Richardson as Gilbert, the owner of the Old Salem Magic Shop, the former home of the Sanderson sisters. Having witnessed the sisters' initial defeat in 1993, he subsequently sought out to facilitate their eventual return. Jalen Pryor as Teen Gilbert. Doug Jones as William Billy Butcherson, a former love interest of Winifred. She spitefully poisoned him on May 1, 1693, when she caught him with her sister Sarah. He is raised from the dead as a zombie. However, Billy reveals he only shared one kiss with Winifred and did not reciprocate her feelings for him in their youth as previously believed. Austin J. Ryan as young William Billy Butcherson. Whitney Peak as Becca, a high school student and aspiring witch who accidentally conjures the Sanderson sisters on her 16th birthday. Belisa Escobedo as Izzy, Becca's quirky best friend. She accidentally conjures the Sanderson sisters with Becca. Lilia Buckingham as Cassie Trask, the mayor's daughter and an estranged popular friend of Becca and Izzy. She helps Becca to stop the Sanderson sisters. Tony Hale as Jeffrey Trask, the mayor of Salem and father of Cassie. Hale also played Reverend Trask, Jeffrey, and Cassie's ancestor from the Sanderson sisters' past, who is also responsible for the sisters becoming evil witches. Hannah Waddingham as the Mother Witch, a mysterious and sinister witch who gifts the spell book to the young Sanderson sisters. Froe Gutierrez as Mike, Cassie's inept boyfriend who offends Becca and Izzy. Ginger Minjay, Cornbread Jeté, and Kamora Hall as drag queens impersonating Winifred, Mary, and Sarah, respectively, during a contest. Amanda Shepard, Gary Marshall, and Penny Marshall make uncredited appearances as Emily Binks, Master Devil, and Medusa Lady through archive footage from the first film. Additionally, 3 stand-in extras portrayed Max Dennison, Danny Dennison, and Allison, the 3 protagonists of the first film, in a flashback sequence narrated by Gilbert to his customers. Production. Development. In July 2014, it was announced that the Walt Disney Company was developing a supernatural-themed film about witches, and that Tina Fey was on board as a producer and star. However, Deadline Hollywood debunked rumors that the film was a sequel to Hocus Pocus. In November 2014, Bette Midler said in a Reddit Ask Me Anything that she was ready and willing to return for a sequel as Winifred Sanderson. She also said her co-stars Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy were interested in reprising the roles of Sarah and Mary Sanderson as well, but stressed that Disney had yet to greenlight any sequel, encouraging fans of the original film to persuade Disney to make one. In November 2015, Midler stated in a Facebook Q&A that after all these years and all the fan demand, I do believe I can stand and firmly say an unequivocal no in response to a question about a sequel. In June 2016, actor Doug Jones mentioned that Disney had been considering a sequel, and behind-the-scenes discussions were in place to possibly continue the series. In October 2016, while promoting her HBO show Divorce, Sarah Jessica Parker was asked by Andy Cohen about a sequel. Her response was, "I would love that. I think we've been very vocal that we're very keen," yet she insisted that fans should encourage Disney to develop a sequel. In Hocus Pocus in Focus, The Thinking Fan's Guide to Disney's Halloween classic, author Aaron Wallace identifies several potential approaches for a sequel, but notes that the project's biggest challenge is the Walt Disney Studios' interest in tentpole projects that promise very high box office returns. In September 2017, Hocus Pocus writer Mick Garris admitted that he was working on a script for Hocus Pocus 2 after years of rumors and speculation, and that it would potentially be developed as a television film for Disney Channel, Freeform or ABC. It was later confirmed that it would be instead a remake to air on Freeform, with the Royals writer Scarlett Lacey attached to write and the original film producer David Kirshner executive producing, with original director Kenny Ortega not expected to be involved. The following month, Midler said she was not fond of the idea of a remake and she would not be taking part in it regardless she was offered some kind of role or not, expressing doubts on how they would be able to successfully recast her role as Winifred Sanderson. In February 2018, Jones revealed that there had been talks to do a sequel set 20 years after the original film and that he was approached to be involved on it, though he admitted that he was still interested on reprising his role as Billy Butcherson. In July 2018, a book titled Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel was released, containing a novelization of the film and a sequel story. The sequel focuses on Max and Allison's daughter, Poppy, who grew up hearing the family story of the original film and parents who avoid Halloween as much as possible. Poppy is skeptical of the tale and ends up in the Sanderson house on Halloween, 25 years to the day after the movie, in an attempt to prove there is nothing to the story. In October 2019, a sequel was announced to be in development as a Disney and exclusive film, with a screenplay written by Jen D'Angelo. In March 2020, Adam Shankman signed on to direct Hocus Pocus 2 concurrently to his work on the Enchanted sequel Disenchanted. Casting. On November 1, 2019, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy expressed interest in reprising their roles as the Sanderson sisters in the sequel. In September 2020, Midler revealed that she has entered talks to return in the film as Winifred, and in October 2020, she confirmed that she will return alongside Parker and Najimy, though their returns were not officially confirmed until May 2021. In October 2021, it was announced that Taylor Paige Henderson had been cast as one of the three leads. Shortly afterwards, Sam Richardson was reported to be in final negotiations to join the cast in an undisclosed role. That same month, Tony Hale has joined the cast as the mayor of Salem, Jeffrey Trask. The full supporting cast was confirmed on October 31, 2021, including Hannah Waddingham and the return of Doug Jones, who portrayed William Billy Butcherson in the original film. In March 2022, it was announced that Thora Birch would not be reprising the role of Danny Dennison from the previous film. Birch later revealed she would have appeared in the film but couldn't due to a scheduling conflict. In the summer of that year, it was then announced that Sean Murray, Larry Bagby, Tobias Jelinek, Omri Katz, and Vanessa Shaw would also not be reprising their roles as Thackeray Binks, Ice, Jay, Max, and Allison, respectively. Pre-production. On October 29, 2020, Midler stated that a story outline for the sequel has been completed, which she praised as pretty great along with Najimy and Jessica Parker. On November 3, Midler revealed that the producers are trying to rehire several members of the first film's production team that are alive and hadn't retired, as they felt much of the success of the first film came from the work of the behind-the-scenes team. In April 2021, Anne Fletcher replaced Shankman as the director due to his directing duties with Disenchanted, although he did remain as an executive producer on the film. Filming. Production was scheduled to begin in the middle of 2021, in Salem, Massachusetts. In September 2021, sets for Hocus Pocus 2 were confirmed being built at Chase Farms in Lincoln, Rhode Island, and Washington Square in Newport, Rhode Island. Filming began on October 18, 2021, in Providence, Rhode Island, under the working title Black Flame. Footage was leaked on November 2, 2021. Filming also took place on November 8, 2021, in Newport's Washington Square, taking place in a modern Salem, Massachusetts. On December 10, 2021, filming began in Federal Hill, which was transformed with a Halloween-themed backdrop. On January 26, 2022, Midler took to social media confirming that filming had been completed. Music. In October 2021, it was announced that John Debney, the composer of the original film, was set to return to score the sequel. The soundtrack, which features 2 new songs in addition to Debney's score, was released digitally by Walt Disney Records on September 30, 2022 and will be released physically on November 11, 2022. Marketing. The first teaser trailer was released on June 28, 2022. The teaser trailer reached 43.6 million views in its first 24 hours, while on Twitter, the number Hocus Pocus became a top trend of the day on Twitter following the teaser's debut. The social media conversation was also the most gender-balanced of the comps at 51% male and 49% female. On August 29, 2022, a first look at Doug Jones as Billy was released, showing the character resurrected again by the Sanderson sisters. On September 9, 2022, the official trailer for the film premiered at the 2022 D23 Expo and was released online afterward. On September 21, 2022, the first look at RuPaul's Drag Race trio as the Sanderson sisters plus a new brand poster were released. After the release of the film, in October 2022, the Sanderson sisters and other material based on the film were included in the video game Disney Magic Kingdoms for a Halloween event focused in Hocus Pocus 2, although with the characters involved in a new storyline unrelated to the events of the film. Release. Hocus Pocus 2 was released on September 30, 2022, on Disney+. Reception. Audience viewership. In October 2022, Disney and reported Hocus Pocus 2 was the service's most viewed film premiere in the United States, based on number of hours streamed in the first 3 days of its release. Disney later reported that Hocus Pocus 2 was the service's most viewed film. According to Wikimedia, Hocus Pocus 2 was the second most anticipated film of September 2022, the most watched straight-to-streaming title of 2022 in its first 3 days. As of October 2022, the most watched film across all platforms in the United States, during the week of September 30, 2022 to October 2, 2022, the second during the week of October 9, 2022, the fourth during the week of October 23, 2022, as well as the fourth during the week of October 30, 2022. According to the streaming aggregator Reelgood, Hocus Pocus 2 was the most watched program across all platforms, during the weeks of October 5, 2022 and October 14, 2022.